We've tested 7 mattresses from Purple and 12 from Leesa. On screen now is a complete list of all mattresses tested to date with their associated scores. First, let's look at how each of these brand prices their mattresses. For the sake of comparison, we'll be showing queen size models. Even at a glance, it's pretty clear that Purple is the more expensive brand. From the 7 mattresses we've tested, their price ranges from $9.99 to $36.99, with the average price being $21.99. This price range on average actually excludes Purple's most expensive Rejuvenate line, which is $49.99 and can be as high as $69.99. We've yet to test those, so we're not including those in this video. For reference, the average mattress price is $14.55 based on a 360 plus we've tested to date. Leesa, on the other hand, not only has a smaller average price at $15.73, but their least expensive model is as low as $6.39. On the high end, the Reserve is their most expensive model at just under $3K. Ultimately, from a price perspective, Leesa is a solid notch or two more affordable than Purple. Does the lower price make Leesa a better value, or does the higher price mean that Purple is better quality? To answer these questions, we'll need to look at the performance scores. But first, let's take a look at company policies. At a high level, both Purple and Leesa share a 100-night trial period, offer free shipping, and both brands assemble their mattresses within the US. However, Purple only offers a 10-year warranty, whereas Leesa mattresses come with a lifetime warranty. Furthermore, when it comes to returns, Purple charges $150 to $350 depending on the model. Leesa offers completely free returns, which is more and more standard across the mattress industry and many online retailers as a whole. Finally, both brands offer customers white glove delivery, where professionals will set up the mattress in your house and haul away your old one for a fee of $200. However, Purple Flex and Purple Renew models are excluded from this service. In my view, Leesa is the more consumer-friendly brand due to their free returns and longer warranty period. Next up, let's take a look at the firmness options from each brand. When it comes to Purple, their mattresses are only available in a medium to medium firm feel. On a 1 to 10 scale, this is a 5 and 6 respectively, where 10 is the most firm. Their firmest model is the Purple Flex, which has a rating of 6.5. Leesa, on the other hand, not only offers a larger range of options, but some of their mattresses come with a choice of multiple firmnesses. Their mattresses come as soft as a 4 and as firm as an 8 on the 1 to 10 scale, where 10 is the most firm. Now we've come to the real meat of this review, the scores. We'll go over each brand's worst and best performing models while circling back to their price to figure out which brand has the best value. Overall performance is determined from scores from 8 different categories, including cooling, motion transfer, response time, edge support, sex performance, pressure relief, off-gassing, and company. From Purple, their mattresses range from a 7.58 to an 8.88, where 10 is a perfect score. Altogether, they average an 8.3 average score. In general, Purple mattresses typically crush it for cooling, response time, and sex. Edge support, pressure relief, and off-gassing are more mixed. But nearly across the board, Purple mattresses tend to struggle with higher motion transfer and lower company scores. From Leesa, their mattresses receive scores that range from an 8.43 on the low end to as high as a 9.47. Their average performance is an 8.93, higher than Purple's best mattress. Leesa mattresses tend to perform well in cooling, pressure relief, and off-gassing. Motion transfer performance is mixed across their lineup, but they do better on average compared to Purple. Ultimately, Leesa mattresses have better, well-rounded performance compared to Purple, and looking at categories like cooling and pressure relief, Leesa scores much higher than Purple on average. So with the lower than average price tags and better than average performance scores, Leesa is the better value for most sleepers. But enough about averages. Let's talk about the best mattresses from each brand. The mattresses earning the title for best overall from each brand have the highest overall performance score. Between Purple and Leesa, the top two recommendations are the Purple Original and the Leesa Supera. The Purple is a 9.5-inch specialty mattress with a comfort layer that uses Purple's patented Purple grid instead of foam. It has a medium feel with moderate sinkage and very high bounce. This mattress earns a 10 out of 10 score in cooling, motion transfer, and response time. The Purple is $14.99 with performance in the top 29% among all mattresses tested to date. This mattress has a medium feel that's a 5 out of 10. However, some lighter weighted sleepers will experience more of a floating feel on the mattress. The Leesa Supera is an 11-inch hybrid mattress made of polyfoam support foam and a pocketed coil base. It has a medium firm feel with moderate sinkage and very high bounce. In our test, the Supera earned a 10 out of 10 for cooling, motion transfer, and pressure relief. A queen size Supera is $15.99 and performs in the top 1% among all mattresses tested to date. Compared to Purple, it has a higher performance level and a price tag that is only $100 more than Purple's. Both mattresses have moderate sinkage and very high bounce, giving the mattresses similar feels. But I will note, Purple has a bit more pushback, especially for lighter weighted bodies. Purple excels for cooling, low levels of motion transfer, and fast material response. The Leesa Supera excels in all 3 areas as well. The biggest disadvantage for each mattress is edge edge for, but it's significantly weaker on the Purple than on the Sapira. For the majority of sleepers, going with the best model by overall score performance is going to be the best choice. From Purple, that means the Purple, and from Leesa, it's the Leesa Sapira. That said, there are a few other standout models that, depending on your needs, could be the better choice. For side sleepers, our top picks are the Purple Restore Plus and Leesa Legend. For back and stomach sleepers, our top picks would be the Purple Restore Plus and Leesa Sapira. For heavier weighted sleepers over 250 pounds, our top picks are the Purple Restore Plus and Leesa Plus Hybrid. If a tight budget is your main concern, I would recommend the Purple Flex and Leesa Original, both of which will keep you right around $1,000 for a queen. For sleepers who struggle with back pain, I would recommend the Purple Restore Plus and Leesa Reserve. For couples, sex performance may be at the top of your list. If that's you, I'd steer you towards the Purple Restore Plus and Leesa Original Hybrid. For a soft feel, Purple doesn't have a good choice, but the Leesa Superior Chill is available in a soft version, and that's going to be estimated at a 4 out of 10 on the firmness scale. If you're looking exclusively for a mattress with a medium firm feel, I'd opt for the Purple Plus and Leesa Sapira. Finally, for a firmer feel, the Leesa Superior Chill is available in a firm version as well, which we're estimating at an 8 out of 10 on our firmness scale. Purple, unfortunately, does not have anything within this firmness range. Next up, we're going to do a deep dive comparison on 3 of the most popular Purple mattresses versus 3 of the most popular Leesa mattresses. From Purple, we'll be looking at the Purple, Purple Restore Plus, and Purple Restore Premier. From Leesa, we'll be looking at Leesa Legend, Leesa Original, and the Leesa Sapira. Both Purple and Leesa mattresses have equally impressive cooling performance. Each brand manages an average cooling score of 9.3, whereas the average among all mattresses tested is an 8.6. Both Purple and Leesa have mattress models with a perfect 10 out of 10 cooling score as well. The Purple mattress and Leesa Sapira are among the best from each brand when it comes to cooling. On screen now, we have a video of our cooling test showing how heat dissipates from the mattress. For this test, we lie on the mattress for 15 minutes, get off the mattress, and then take periodic surface level temperature measurements. All that said, none of the models from Purple or Leesa performed poorly when it came to cooling. Purple's hyper-elastic grid is highly breathable, which makes for a potent combination for dissipating heat. Because of its density, memory foam tends to be more at a disadvantage when it comes to cooling. However, the quality and design of Leesa's foam layers manage to overcome that challenge and offer top-tier cooling performance. Both Purple and Leesa know what they're doing when it comes to creating a mattress with great cooling performance. In terms of sinkage, both Purple and Leesa mattresses tend to stay around minimal to moderate levels. The mattress with the least amount of sinkage goes to the Purple Restore Premier at 1.82 inches, but the Leesa Legend was close at 1.88 inches. Both these mattresses create more of a floating on top of the mattress feel as opposed to sinking down in the mattress. The deepest sinkage among these 6 is the Purple at 2.24 inches. While technically still moderate, it's on the edge of being considered deep. The average sinkage depth across all mattresses tested to date is 2.18 inches. Back and stomach sleepers usually prefer less sinkage, which better maintains proper alignment of the spine. For these sleepers, Leesa has better value options with the Leesa Legend, Leesa Original, and Leesa Sapira, all with moderate to moderate sinkage and all less than 2.1K. If your budget can stretch a bit further, the Purple Restore Plus and Purple Restore Premier are also good options for back and stomach sleepers. Side sleepers enjoy a deeper level of sinkage, as that typically translates to better pressure relief and contour. For deeper sinkage, opt for the Purple with 2.24 inches of sinkage at only $14.99. When we compare motion transfer for Purple and Leesa, there's a clear winner, Leesa. While the Purple mattress has one of the lowest acceleration ranges we've seen to date, as a whole, Purple averages an 8.0 motion transfer score. Leesa, on the other hand, has Leesa Original with an even lower acceleration range, as well as a much more impressive brand average at 10 out of 10. For reference, the average motion transfer score across all mattresses tested to date is an 8.2. Despite the exceptional performance of the Purple mattress, the brand's 8.0 average falls well below this mark. The higher balance and ultra responsiveness of the Purple grid are most likely working against it here. The memory foam and polyfoam material that Leesa uses does a better job at dissipating motion from one side of the mattress to the other. Even Leesa's hybrid models, the Leesa Legend and Leesa Sapira, manage to keep motion well within lower levels, and they come out as the better option regarding motion transfer. Next Next, let's hit response time. This is the measure of how quickly a mattress can rebound back to its original shape. Both brands performed exceptionally well, but Purple is the clear winner no matter how you slice it. Purple earned 10 out of 10 scores for every model in this comparison, with mostly recovered measurements of 0.2 and fully recovered measurements of 0.3 seconds. These times are the fastest we've tested to date. This amounts to perfect 10 out of 10 brand score compared to Leesa's 9.6 brand score. Leesa's model still performed well, with no mattress measuring a most recovered time longer than 0.3 seconds and no fully recovered time longer than a 0.5 seconds. For reference, the average response time across all mattresses tested to date is 0.4 to be most recovered and 1.0 for full recovery. So Leesa's performance is still considerably faster than average. Both Leesa and Purple are more than fast enough to reform back to shape, so there's little to no worry of any cratering sensation that would make you feeling stuck on the mattress. Speaking of ease of movement, we're going to compare bounce levels between Purple and Leesa. Bounce is the factor most important for general ease of movement in, out, and on your mattress. In regards to bounce, Purple and Leesa are fairly similar. As you might expect by now, Purple's hyper-elastic grid material is great for bounce. As a brand, they have an average bounce measurement of 11.48 inches, but Leesa still performs well with a brand average bounce measurement of 10.72 inches. The models with the most bounce are the Purple Original at 12.79 inches and Leesa Superior at 12.67 inches. The mattresses with the least bounce are the Purple Restore Premier and Leesa Original. The average bounce across all mattresses tested to date is 9.16 inches. Mattresses with more bounce are better for ease of movement and increased sex performance. However, higher bounce also typically creates a higher level of motion transfer, so there are pros and cons when it comes to bounce. Typically, mattresses with support coils in the base have an advantage over those with support foam. This holds true with the model with the lowest bounce, Leesa Original, being an all-foam construction, and the majority with coils are clearing that 8-inch bounce benchmark by a wide margin. The only exception is the Purple mattress, which does not have coils. In the end, bounce is more of a preferential factor, and both Purple and Leesa have models that offer more bounce or less bounce depending on your preferences. When it comes to edge support, neither Purple nor Leesa are especially strong performers. Purple has an edge support brand average score of 8.3, and Leesa has a brand average of 7.8. On top of the higher score, Purple has the larger disparity between models. Where Leesa has a sitting sinkage range of 3.25 to 6.25 inches, Purple's models have a sitting sinkage as low as 2.75 and as high as 7.75 inches. The average edge support score across all mattresses tested to date is 8.6. This is generated with an average sitting sinkage compression of 4.00 inches. By this number, both brands fall below average. On the one hand, Purple and the Purple Restore Plus have the highest score of 10, and the Purple Restore Premier has the second highest at a 9.9. Purple is clearly the better brand when it comes to edge support. It's simply the Purple mattress with its outlier score of 5.1, which brings down the total brand average. The Leesa Legend, Leesa Original, and Leesa Superior all fall short when it comes to sitting edge compression, but they all performed excellently when it came to lying support. So if sleeping near the edge is your main concern, you may not want to rule out the Leesa in this category. However, if you like to sit at the edge of your bed or incorporate it into your dance without pants, Purple is generally the better option. Next up, let's talk about sex performance. Our score is derived from a weighted formula that includes bounce, edge support, pressure relief, noise, and cooling. Purple is the clear winner here with an average sex score of 9.2. Leesa, on average, is no slouch with an average sex score of 8.6. The average sex score across all mattresses tested to date is 8.5, so both brands are better than average. The two weightiest factors in this formula are bounce and edge support. If you can recall, the two brands are similar in bounce, but Purple pulled ahead in edge support. Mattresses that excel in both, like Purple Restore Plus, earn the highest sex score. The Leesa Superior had high bounce, but only good edge support, so we see it a little lower at a 9.1 for sex. Mattresses with lower bounce and worse edge support perform the worst, including the Leesa Original and Purple Restore Premier. When it comes to pressure relief, the Purple and Leesa are pretty evenly matched. No mattress performs poorly here. Of the 6 mattresses tested, 5 earn a 9 out of 10 for pressure relief. Purple plays around with their ratio of comfort material and support material, but they always have their tried and true hyper-elastic grid at the end of the day, though it seems to hit a plateau with every model earning just a 9 out of 10 score. Leesa, on the other hand, has a similar trend of trying different ratios of comfort and support material, especially for their more value-oriented models. However, they did did manage a 9.3 average, overtaking Purple. The average pressure relief score across all mattresses tested to date is an 8.8 out of 10 with a 4.1-inch average comfort layer. Typically, mattresses with thicker comfort layers perform better for pressure relief, but even lower quantity can be made up with quality, which is what we see with the Purple Restore Premier. In the case of the Leesa Original, we see a thinner overall profile, yet comfort layer makes up 40% of its total thickness. There's a similar story with the Purple Original, but its comfort layer makes up 58% with an even thinner support layer. It's where quantity, quality, and smart design all come together where we see the best results, and that's what we see with the Leesa Sapira. Despite a slightly thinner comfort layer than average, the Sapira has the best blend of these 6 to create 10 out of 10 pressure relief. When it comes to off-gassing, Purple generally has a longer duration to complete off-gassing than Leesa. Leesa averaged a duration of 4.3 days. Meanwhile, Purple saw an average of 13.3 days. They also had the biggest spread of measurements across their mattresses, with 4 days as their shortest and 26 days as their longest. For reference, the average off-gassing duration across all mattresses tested to date is 6.5 days. The Purple Restore Premier is the clear outlier for having the longest duration at 26 days. It gave the mattress a 2.8 score in this category, where the average score is an 8.2. The Leesa Original only has a 10-inch profile, which does give an advantage where it has less material to off-gas, so we saw the fastest duration of 3 days. The Purple mattress was similar with its 9.5-inch thickness, but its special grid system was a bit more potent than a standard viscoelastic foam, so we measured a 4-day duration. Leesa Sapira was right about average, if not a little shorter, at 6 days. Next up, let's take a look at company policies. Comparing Purple versus Leesa, there's a clear winner, Leesa. To date, we've tested 360 plus mattresses from 101 different brands. Among all mattresses tested to date, the average trial length is 172 nights, and the average warranty is 13 years, excluding 40% of mattresses that offer lifetime warranties. Both Purple and Leesa have a 100-night trial period and free shipping. Purple has a 10-year warranty, Leesa lifetime warranty. In addition, Leesa offers free returns, while Purple charges $150 to $350 to initiate a return, depending on the model. Base models are $150 to return, Restore models are $250, and Rejuvenate models are $350. When we consider the complete picture of company policies, the Leesa is the clear winner. And there you have it. Between Purple and Leesa, Leesa comes out on top in most categories. When factoring in their lower average price, it's my view that they are the better value between the two as well. But these are just numbers. Some sleepers may prefer the unique feel of the Purple mattress, and many clearly do based on its popularity. What our tests show is that in a broad scope of performance categories, Leesa has better all-around performance. In addition, they have a larger variety of mattresses that can accommodate a wider range of sleeper preferences. However, we also found that Purple mattresses are great for keeping you cool and providing a super lively surface that you'll never feel stuck on. In addition, they're also excellent for the dance without pants. If you're interested in other mattresses that also excel in sex performance, take a look at our video on screen now. We have our list of the best mattresses for sex that we've tested to date across all brands.